Why was that?
Because he was not proud of me. He never said, I love you. He never said, I'm proud of you. Never. Okay, the happiness will come in heaven. I try to take my responsibility and to make it beautiful now. There is a lot of but let us try to be nicer to each other.
In the most unexpected moment, Dutch violinist André Rieu,
one of the biggest stars in the classical music world, and his name is André Rieu,
was brought to tears when his son Pierre Rieu made the most shocking transformation. No one saw it coming, not even a father who has spent years building his musical empire. Before now, both family and fans had expectations of Pierre Rieu. But in the sudden turn of events, Pierre takes on a transformation which has left everyone emotional, his father especially. What was this transformation, and why did it bring André to tears? Join us as we uncover the real story. The world knew André Rieu but not his son. André Rieu is known as the Waltz King for his renowned and extravagant waltz performances, which has made me a global sensation. Beyond waltzes, he has performed music ranging from opera, film, musicals, operators, and traditional melodies. André is best known for creating the Johann Strauss Orchestra, the largest private orchestra in the world, and has performed with his orchestra of over 50 players throughout Europe.
I take great pride in my concerts and in the appearance of my orchestra.
Give them an enormous applause, the Entourage Orchestra!
In North America, Japan, and in Australia. His live shows are an extravaganza of crinoline ladies whose every costume he gives personal approval, fairy tale castles, and ice rinks. In 2007, Rieu even built a full-size reproduction of Vienna's imperial Schönbrunn Palace as a stage set for his World Stadium Tour, A Romantic Vienna Night. At that time, it was the biggest stage set ever to go on tour. André's global appearance began in the music industry with his performance in a 30-concert extravaganza in São Paulo, Brazil, which drew a crowd of over 180,000 and made way for him to be invited for his first concerts in Asia, marking the beginning of his fame. His exciting orchestral performances have won him a number of awards, which includes winning the World Music Awards twice. In 1996,
it's my extreme pleasure to present the World Music Award for Best-Selling Benelux Artist or Group of the Year to André Rieu.
And in 1998, and over 500 Platinum Awards. But this is not all. Stay tuned to find out the hidden truth behind André's achievements. André Rieu has released multiple gold and platinum selling albums and DVDs. As of today, he has sold more than 40 million recordings. His popular albums include 2024, Love Is All Around, 2016, Viva Olympia, 2010, Happy Together, and Jewels of Romance. André continues to make classical music accessible to millions of people around the globe, recently making a name for himself as the highest-grossing classical artist in Billboard's box score history. But while the world knew André as the renowned Dutch violinist and conductor, many knew little about the people standing and working behind him, especially his son, Pierre Rieu. Globally, people were in love with the enchanting performance of André, but we're oblivious to the quiet, steady figure that stood faithfully behind the curtains, helping to make and support the legendary career. Amongst these sets of persons, the most overlooked was his own son, Pierre Rieu. Although André Rieu was the name which lit up concert halls and posters, Pierre was the one working hard to manage logistics, coordinate the ever-trooping tours, and ensure every performance runs smoothly so that the orchestra could unfold into captivating moments across the globe. However, unlike his father, Pierre was never interested in the spotlight. He was satisfied being the right handyman, the organizer, the planner, and the one who encourages André to give out the best performance. While his fan base marveled at the grand and elegant shows, only a few keen eyes were able to recognize Pierre's fingerprints in several aspects of the experience. How he built systems, solved problems, and carried out different behind-the-scenes tasks most never saw. Well, without him, the André Rieu sensation we all know today may have never reached such incredible great heights. His humility, discipline, and vision have made one of the true celebrity hidden heroes behind a worldwide music empire. Despite his name not being popular, his impact can certainly not be denied. In many ways, Pierre Rieu stands as a figure which reminds us that behind every great public success are often private efforts of devotion and sacrifice from quiet persons. Pierre grew up in the long-looming shadow of a father who is a legendary worldwide star, whose name and music echoed in numerous concert halls and honorary shows.
At the top of the show, we introduced you to popular musician André Rieu. Now it's time to find out how he became one of the most successful touring acts in the world.
From a young age, Pierre was often in an environment of melodies and applause, often seen backstage or somewhere beside his mother as his father entertained sold-out crowds. His childhood was one full of rehearsals, tours, and media frenzy. Of course, everyone expected him to follow his father's musical footsteps, but outside their expectations was Pierre facing an internal conflict. Although he admired his father very much, he also struggled with the pressure of living up to such a demanding lifestyle. As a child, he showed talent in playing the piano by ear and also had a rich and endearing voice, but while it impressed others, it worried him. Every compliment felt like a demand he wasn't willing to meet. He was compared with his father's skillfulness. Gradually, Pierre began to drift away from the spotlight, preferring to focus on academics and writing and history, where he found his own voice. Making the decision not to pursue a music career, nor the stage entirely, was a different one. The world wanted a musician, but Pierre had other dreams. He wanted to build a legacy of his own. Music will continue to be an important part of his life, but not as something he enjoys publicly, but outside the limelight. So he finds his own path, which does not necessarily need a microphone or a crowd. Purpose, freedom, and authenticity. Pierre's story is one of bravery and true independence. As the son of a world-renowned violinist, Pierre Rieu's decision was indeed very unexpected. Like we said earlier, many had thought he would take up the violin and step into the stage like his father, but of course not. He chose the quiet path and stayed behind the scenes. At first, the decision seemed just practical and like André was being left to stand in the world of music alone. But over the years, something deeper began to happen. Pierre began to evolve from someone who simply helped with logistics to a figure with a far more meaningful presence in André's life and musical career. He became the anchor that kept André's vast empire stable. This was a transformation. This transformation was not about public glory, but a quiet yet growing devotion. Not about a talent display on stage, but purpose lived out in commitment. And for a man like André Rieu, who has touched millions with his music, this unexpected transformation in his own son would come to touch him more than anyone else. So what exactly did Pierre do behind the scenes, and how did this transformation take shape? Keep watching to find out why this unexpected transformation brought tears to everyone. The hidden backbone of André. In 2008, Pierre brought tears to everyone, especially his father when he dropped out of law school to play an active role in the Johann Strauss Orchestra and to take work off his father André's hands. Pierre did not step into his father's world with an entitled arrogance, despite being the first son of one of the most celebrated musicians in the world. He started where most people wouldn't expect, at the bottom. His first roles were almost invisible. He handled logistics backstage, helped with travel arrangements, coordinated equipment carriage, and made sure everyone was ready for tours. At first, many assumed it was just a son helping out, as any supportive son should. But it was more than that. Behind the scenes, Pierre was paying attention to everything, learning and understanding how the crew functioned, how tours flowed, and how even the smallest delays could shake an entire show. In all of it, he wanted to understand what kept his father's musical universe going. With each responsibility he took on, he grew, showing unspoken dedication each time. He became someone that could be relied on even when everyone was under intense pressure, and continued to respect the craft his father had built. André began to see that it was not just a family favor, but a gift Pierre had, one that was gradually transforming both Pierre and his own musical career. A gift of structure, timing, and seeing problems before they even happened. Well, the son many expected to take on the stage has instead become something even more, a man who kept the stage alive. This was a transformation. Pierre had grown into the man behind the music, the protector of the vision. But what happened next will surprise you. As André Rieu's concerts grew larger and his global presence expanded, so did the weight of responsibility behind each production. Without ever demanding it, Pierre began stepping into bigger roles. What started as backstage support soon expanded into managing full-scale operations, from planning tours, budgeting for performances, crew coordination, and technical setups across multiple countries. With each tour, Pierre's involvement in his father's musical career deepened.
You're just about to go on a tour of America, I think?
Yeah.
And then you're back in the UK playing at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, we think of rock groups playing there.
He wasn't just responding to challenges, he was anticipating them and handling them like a pro. He developed schedules to account for different details, such as flight times, customs delays, rest periods for the musicians, and even weather forecasts that could affect their open-air performances. His meticulous eye made managing chaos easier. His calm demeanor under pressure earned him not only his father's trust, but the respect of the entire team. In 2007, André Rieu launched a World Stadium concert tour themed A Romantic Vienna Night. It featured a full-scale replica of Schönbrunn Palace, the Viennese palace of Empress Sisi and Emperor Franz Joseph. The theatrical scenery was designed to be the largest ever built for a tour show, measuring 125 meters wide, 30 meters deep, and 35 meters high. This included a ballroom with golden chandeliers, a hand-painted ceiling, and the original fountains, as well as 14 carriages with 36 horses from Vienna. This concert represented a dream come true for André Rieu, because in 2006 he played at the actual Schönbrunn in Vienna, the castle of Empress Sisi and Emperor Franz Joseph. But although the concert was a huge success, and the castle was the perfect background for the music they performed, he was not happy that everyone didn't have an opportunity to come to Vienna to see them play. And guess what? Pierre Rieu was the brain behind it. A 2024 publication by Pascal Thewissen said, he has conceived the unholy plan to make a world tour with a copied Schönbrunn Castle, the famous Viennese palace of Empress Sisi and Emperor Franz Joseph. The structure is 125 meters wide and 34 meters high. Pierre wasn't chasing a spotlight. He was building the foundation beneath it. André, long known for his flair and artistry, found in his son the perfect counterpart, a man of order, reliability, and grounded strength. Without making a sound on stage, Pierre became instrumental in every other concert's success. He didn't change who he was, but simply grew deeper into his purpose. And the deeper he went, the more André realized that this transformation was defining. In 2010, the world of Riley's family was shaken. André became sick due to a viral infection that left him unable to perform for months. Doctors diagnosed that he was suffering from a vestibular nerve infection. It was a condition that affected the inner ear, resulting from stress or overwork.
With the external ear funneling sound waves, through the external auditory canal to the tympanic membrane.
André experienced dizziness a lot of times, disorientation and fatigue, which made it difficult for him to perform, travel, and even rehearse. For a performer whose life was built on constant touring and performance, the sudden halt was more than a health scare. It was a potential threat to everything he had built. As he rested and recovered, Pierre took full control of operations. Fans had begun to notice André's withdrawal from activities, his reducer presence, and the cancelled shows especially. The pressure was immense. With the media circling, fans grew anxious and financial uncertainty loomed. Amidst it all, Pierre wasn't shaken. With his father still recovering, he became the pillar holding up the entire empire. He negotiated with venues across several countries, scheduled new dates, and personally addressed ticket holders and fans through carefully worded statements. He has taken a lot of work off André Rieu's hands, who used to do everything himself, wanted to be in control of everything, and was bad at delegating. I think he is very happy that his son has taken on that role. Someone who is very close to him, says Tim Gertz, author of the book 75 Years of André Rieu, the story of the maestro. Pierre took the wheel not out of ambition, but out of love. He shielded his father from external pressures, handled the chaos of cancelled shows, calmed worried staff, and stabilized the entire operation. He went from making things work to holding everything together. This was the undeniable transformation of a son into a servant-hearted leader. Someone who didn't need credit to stay committed. Someone who stepped up when the lights went out and became the reason they could shine again. But it didn't stop here. Keep watching. A father's love beyond the stage. There are many kinds of transformations in life. Those that bring fame, those that reveal talent, and those that happen quietly in the background, changing everything without anyone noticing. Pierre Rieu's transformation was not about public acclaim or stepping into the limelight like his father. Instead, it was about becoming the foundation upon which the world of André Rieu could stand tall and continue to flourish. Today, André Rieu doesn't just see his son as the boy who once dreamed of traveling the world with him. He sees a man, loyal, creative, and utterly devoted. A man who quietly walked away from law school, not to pursue his own spotlight, but to carry his father's vision into the future. What began in 2008 as a logistical role has blossomed into a full-fledged partnership built on trust, deep affection, and mutual respect. Pierre does not only manage schedules or edit videos. He pilots the plane that carries his father from one concert to another. He lifts heavy gear, operates forklifts, constructs massive stages, and yet also handles the finesse of international planning. His golden helmet. A creative touch during a high-stress moment has become a symbol of his ingenuity and leadership. He is as comfortable sweating through a night to finish a backdrop as he is seated in a boardroom mapping out a world tour. It's a far cry from the young man who once nearly collapsed under the pressure during the ambitious Schönbrunn Castle tour in 2007. Power failures, sleepless nights, and crushing expectations almost took him down. "I almost had a heart attack. We barely made it," Pierre later said. But he didn't give up. That moment of near collapse was not a breaking point. It was a breakthrough. He emerged from it not as a victim of pressure, but as someone who would become the quiet pillar of one of the most successful musical brands in the world. What happened next will make you cry. André, once known for his controlling perfectionism, slowly learned to let go. Not because he wanted to, but because he could finally trust someone. That someone was Pierre. He has taken a lot of work off André Rieu's hands, who used to do everything himself and was bad at delegating, said Tim Gertz, author of 75 Years of André Rieu. I think he is very happy that his son has taken on that role, someone who is very close to him. André may still be the face, the bow-tied figure on stage commanding orchestras and captivating audiences, but Pierre is the steady hand behind the curtain. Together, along with Marjorie, André's wife, and the quiet powerhouse behind the brand, they form an unshakable trio. André often describes them as one heart beating in three bodies. Where he brings the music, Marjorie brings wisdom, and Pierre brings movement literally and figuratively. The moments of admiration between father and son are not loud, but they are profound. Take, for instance, the time in 2017 when an album focusing on waltz as a dance was nearly ready for release. Pierre stepped in and told his father, lovingly but firmly, "Don't do it, Dad. That's not you musically." André didn't argue. He didn't hesitate. Within a minute, he later recalled, that CD was in the trash. Such is the respect André has for his son, not just as a logistics manager, but as someone who deeply understands the soul of the brand, and even more so, the heart of his father. The concerts today, massive productions at the Vrijthof and MeCC in Maastricht, are orchestrated with Pierre's touch in every detail. From organizing 400 brass players and 170 dance couples, to founding a travel branch that enhances the audience experience, Pierre has carved out a role that not only supports, but elevates everything his father built. But beyond the statistics, the sold-out shows, the massive stages, lies something more enduring, a relationship redefined by love and humility. Pierre may not play the violin, but he has orchestrated a legacy in his own way. He's building something not just for audiences, but for family, for the Rieu name to mean more than just music, to mean legacy, unity, devotion. André's tears today are not tears of pain or regret, but of pride. He has said time and again that seeing his son take the reins without ever needing the spotlight is one of his life's greatest joys. Pierre is always there, violinist Frank Steins noted. He does everything very well and is always there for others. That's who he is, a son-turned-supporter, turned leader. Perhaps the world didn't expect Pierre's transformation. After all, he wasn't the one holding the bow on stage. But to André, it changed everything. In Pierre, he found not only a son, but a partner, a safe place, and a steady hand to help him continue living his dream. In the end, what touches the soul is not always the sound of music, but the story behind it, the quiet triumph of love, family, and selfless dedication. And that, perhaps, is André Rieu's greatest encore. The one performed not before a crowd, but in the quiet legacy of a father and son who chose each other, again and again. Do you know other figures who have gone through silent transformations for the success of a loved one? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and such. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You'll enjoy it.